Good morning and welcome again to another of my weekly rambles. I can't believe that it's almost November now. It's been half term this week and we've been away in the New Forest, and my children have been adoring all the wild animals, the ponies, the pigs, the donkeys, etc, etc. It's been a lot of fun, although it's been raining the whole time, but we didn't let that dampen our spirits too much. I hope you've all had a good week. I hope you all got your pumpkins ready for Halloween. This Sunday at church we have our normal online service, so you can access that online at www.swanageteam.com. This is also a special weekend for us, as we are holding our service in which to remember departed friends, family, etc. And it's been a bit of a challenge this year because of social distancing and not being able to fit all that many people into church. As you know, we've been singing choral evensong for the past few weeks, which has been wonderful, but the choir has taken up half the church, which really means that there's not a lot of room for a congregation. So this year we're going to have two services, one at 5:30 and one at 6:30. And we're having to limit the size of the choir, unfortunately. And this will be a bit of a trial for our Advent and Christmas services, because we're going to have to do the same sort of thing throughout and maybe repeat services as well. We have to see how we go. But it should still be really lovely services. So for my choice of music this week, I was thinking we're coming to the beginning of November, and November the 1st is traditionally when we celebrate All Saints' Day. And then normally on November the 2nd, All Souls' Day, we remember the departed, and that's a traditional time to sing a requiem. Now I could have chosen one of my very favourite pieces ever, which is the Requiem Mass by Duruflé, which a lot of you will know. Those of you in the arts choir were learning it, and sadly the concert had to be pulled at the last minute, but I hope it might be reinstated at some time. And of course there's the wonderful Fauré Requiem, but there are so many other requiems. Howells wrote the most sublime requiem, which then developed into Hymnus Paradisi. But there are many, many, many. However, I thought I would focus on All Saints. And again, All Saints, there are lots of wonderful pieces of music, lots of choice as well. But one of my favourite motets ever, and it's rather special to me because it featured on my very first ever LP that I made, as a choir master that is, as opposed to the ancient ones we used to make at St Paul's. And it's a piece by Thomas Louis de Vitoria. It's a setting of one of the Vespers for All Saints' Day, and it is a setting of O Quam Gloriosum, which is, oh how glorious are the saints who rejoice with Christ. I've put a translation, the words in the translation, on the email for you. But this piece is a wonderful, wonderful piece. It's quite a short motet, but it is absolutely so full of life and so vibrant. Vittoria was a very well-known composer. I suppose along with Palestrina and Lassus, he was probably the most famous composer of the sort of mid-16th century, what they were known as the Counter-Reformation. He was born in Spain. He was Spanish. He was born in the walled city of Avila, which if you get the chance to visit Avila, it's just the most amazing place. You just sort of come across it, and the whole city is walled. And he grew up there, and then he went to Rome to study, and he was influenced by Palestrina, by the whole Italian music scene of the time, and that's reflected in his music. But he didn't stay in Rome forever. He came back to England, to Spain, where he worked. What's interesting about him is that he was not only a composer, he was an organist, and he held a couple of organist posts. He was a choir director, but he was a priest as well. He was an ordained priest. So he was a bit of a jack of all trades. He was a very bright man and highly respected for his work. He wrote a number of motets. He wrote mass settings. So actually, O Quam Gloriosum motet, there's a whole mass setting based on that, which is absolutely wonderful too. But this particular piece that I'm pointing you to is full of, as I say, it's full of energy. He was great at writing melodies, and he was great at dovetailing voices. You'll see here, we often talk about how we get to the end of phrases and you shade off and then the new idea comes through. Well, you can hear that very much in this piece, but it's absolutely full of energy and reflects the text so well. It's not that difficult a piece. It's a piece I would love to do at St Mary's. Maybe it's a bit beyond us at the moment, but here's hoping in the future, maybe at some time. So I'm pointing you to a performance by the Monteverdi Choir, and there's a score on the screen as well, so you can follow it. But I think it's fairly immediate. It's something you'll enjoy straight away. So see what you think. I hope you'll enjoy it. So, as ever, it's time to do a couple of warm-ups, so I'll pop that way, and off we go. So, here we are. Are you sitting comfortably or standing comfortably? I'll just remind you about your posture, but you know what to do, so I don't need to tell you that. But just make sure you're nice and relaxed, okay? So, our first exercise, we're just going to hum. Let's start in B flat major, and I just want you, this is the pattern, just going... Easy, and then we've just got steps and semitones. All right, here we go. Breath. Vary that. You could open your lips slightly, tongue behind your top teeth and go n and do it like that. Just whatever you feel comfortable with, just to warm up. Alright. Now, next one. I want you to sing to Mia, and I want you to go like this. Mia, 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 Mia. Just make sure the R, the jaw relaxed and open, nice open vowel sound. Okay, Mia. Okay, from the bottom. Mia, 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 Mia. And now on the way down, I want you to do we are with a nice work on that one. Going we are, 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 we are. So me on the way up, we on the way down. All right, off you go. Mia, 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 Mia. We are, 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 we are. Next one. Mia, 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 Mia. We are, 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 we are. Mia, 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 Mia. We are, 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 we are. Mia, 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 Mia. We are, 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 we are. One more. Mia, 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 Mia. We are, 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 we are. All right. And finally, let's just go to R, going R. Some of those. 2, 3, 4. One more. Still much remember to get my piano tuned sometime. Who knows? Anyway, I hope that helps rather. Hope you feel a bit more warmed up now, ready to sing. So I'll see some of you later on this evening. Some of you I won't see for a while still, but hope it won't be too long. But in the meantime, stay safe and have fun.